Laura's having a spot of breakfast, so I thought I'd check in with everything. We saw some amazing bands yesterday, didn't we? I think Def Leppard was the best. Who do you think?
It's a close call with
Whitesnake, yeah, of course. Whitesnake was amazing, and then we were knackered, weren't we, after Def Leppard? And we just went like back to the tent. This is the first time we were camping in a while, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's interesting.
It's the 5th consecutive download we've done.
Yeah.
Not together, but separately.
But separately, and the third together? No. Yeah, third. I got some cool interviews. Just finished chatting with Animals as Leaders, which was great. And about to watch Power Trip smash out the main stage. Very, very excited. And that's it, really, I think, at the moment. For now, there's been really nice food as well. I had a hog roast, which was really good.
The thing I love about festivals, though, is the food. It's always the food. Like, do you want a pizza? Sure. Do you want a curry? Yeah. Do you want, I don't know, a burger? Yeah, go get a burger. Do you want a pitta? Have a pitta.
It's true.
Every food you could ever wish for.
We had a sushi wrap, or as I like to call them, a sushito yesterday.
Sushito.
A sushito, which was awesome. And I think they're going to have a lot of new fans because of their performance at Download, and they nailed it, man. Like, it was so heavy. You know, seeing Execution as Tax at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon on a Saturday was incredible, and you could see how galvanized the crowd were. I just thought it was a brilliant performance. Sadly, I did miss Behemoth as we were doing some interviews in between, but there was a sort of TV in the press tent, so I did get to see kind of like what they put together, and it looked incredible. The press area actually is really, really interesting for those, if you might be interested. It's kind of like this tent where all the interviews take place, so each person has their own little setup, and then you kind of interview bands as and when they come through. But yeah, it was really nicely laid out. It was a lot easier, actually, and away from the stage, so there wasn't that spill of sound. But then after that, we were able to come out for Trivium, and I think this is probably like Trivium's biggest show, for sure. There's actually a link to the entire stream over on Matt's channel, Kichi Chaos, where you can see the entire performance. But it was in waves where like you really kind of got the sense of just how massive this show was for Trivium, and also just how massive Trivium have become. Then afterwards we were milling around, and I wanted to see what's potentially one of the most controversial bands on the bill, which was Batushka. And I have to say, I'm really sad to report that it was very dull, very boring. Nothing really happened. We got in the tent, and there was loads of people around us. We were all kind of like, what exactly is going on? Because all they did was light candles for 15 minutes. And then they played 3 songs and got off stage. Then afterwards, we did go and see a bit of Diane Wood. And it's definitely not my thing. Fair play. I mean, you know, like I'm not a fan, but it looked pretty intense. Then after that, we ducked into Carcass for a couple of songs, which was really cool. Well, I say ducked into. We were sort of like outside the tent. I think that's probably one of the biggest problems that the Dogtooth stage had, was that the bands they booked there were just too big. Then afterwards, I wanted to see what Hailstorm were about, because I've never actually seen them live. And they came out swinging. Lizzie Hale was really, really great. I thought her vocal range is pretty insane live. And we saw a little bit of that. But then we wanted to get a good place for Slipknot, and we met my good friend Dylan. And one of the things I really liked about being sort of like to the right of the stage is that, or I should probably say to the right of the stage, is that it was really easy access to the toilets and bar and things like that. But Slipknot Oh my god! I think I've seen Slipknot a lot. Like I'm surprised of how many times I've seen them, but I think this was really the best performance they've ever given, and in part I think it was due to the set list. This was some seriously heavy material. We had Disaster Pieces, they played Unsainted. I thought that The Devil in I was really good, and it kind of shows that it really does kind of deserve to be up there with the pedigree of their sound. Psychosocial, of course, was rolled out. What else was there? And All Out Life, though, for me, I have to say, was definitely a highlight. And it just translates so well into a live setting. And I think the fact that this is like a more like vicious Slipknot is really interesting as well. Of course, they ended on their new national anthem that was Surfacing. They did Spit It Out, which features probably one of the funniest videos I took this entire festival.